Oh, okay. So I'm gonna do another one of these. It's been quite a minute since I've hopped in. Should really be trying to get more of these games in, more like Choki practice and all that. But happens. To be fair, it's been kind of a you know rough part of the world I've been in for a little bit. A rough time around my part of the world, I guess is the best way to put it. But we got through it. Been working hard. Starting to get more into practicing again. Finally, kind of process my little part of life. Feeling good about it after the invitational crash out. Not good about the part of life, but better about my play. Need to build that confidence back up, saying I won all that. Been trying to work on my lifestyle for February too. 8 days now. I'm fully through a full week. Trying to do some basic like strength training stuff. Sucks. Every day, you wake up. At some point during the day, you got to break a little piece of you and hope you wake up, something else takes its place, or wake up to a better day on the next one. But that's how it goes, right? Reminder too, highly encourage to play your own music if you so desire while watching or listening to these, especially if you're trying to like practice. Get some advice. I'm pretty cut and dry. And it'll copyright me if I play the music I'm listening to. So,
Oh,
highly encourage whatever vibe you're feeling. Stick it in the background of me. Not too much happening so far this hand. Tia's got double tone, top of the gun. Especially when I take that Aka 5, which isn't... I'm not going to call it... Ooh, excuse me. I'm not going to call it good or anything, but it's not like the worst call in the world. I'm going to try to get rid of this 5. That could be
no.
Tenpai a lot of the time. Yeah. Yeah. Bit of a bad throw. That Aka 5 is Tenpai most of the time, especially like that hanging 5. I probably should have tried to justify with like 1 or something, especially because I was near Dora, so bit of a lazy discard for me. My brain's kind of been all over the place this past week. So, happens. You recognize you make the mistake. It's part of practice. You're not going to play perfectly. If you were, then you wouldn't need to practice. Or your practice probably wouldn't need to be with play. It would need to be with something else. So, just got to build the reinforcement. Ain't coming out. Not really. Sanshoku is definitely on the thoughts. Yeah, that's Dora. Yeah, that's Dora. So I probably should have discarded the two. So I was thinking like if I pair Hatsu, maybe I do something a little bit interesting and like try to do a Honitsu. But with the 456 with the 6 Dora locked in, it's not very realistic. In fact, I'm gonna cut that 2-pin right or that 2 right now. Keep the safer 1-pin and Hatsu. My shapes are pretty set. I'll probably pass the first East. Especially trying to like draw around this. I wanna build a Tanya or do something like that, which is also totally cool. So that works out pretty well. 3, that's good. So now we're gonna cut the 5. The reason being that we have this Nobeton or like double pair weight of 6-3. 3 is not the best. There's only one more. But we also see 3 of the 4s. So somebody else would have to have like 4, 5, 6 to be able to play that last 4 most likely. Or they would have to have like last 3 and last 4 and look for like 2, 5, which twos are bad on this board. So this, not a great weight, but it's something. It's a bit unfortunate. The Hatsu is a much better tankier pair option too. It's very likely we're going to be ending in a pair for a hand like this. I don't want to discard the East because there's no Pinfu chance on it. So not only do I lose a Han, but I don't even gain 1 for Pinfu. So I definitely want to keep this. And if I'm going to end in a pair, then I want to try and make it something that's got a decent chance of winning. I thought about the 2 because with these 3s, With that 2 and like these
Eats.
3s, odds are nobody needs it, but happens. Now with 1 Hatsu out, I'm wondering what my Tonki will be. How are Wes? Wes a little bit better, but it's also a cheaper deal in, so I'm gonna play that. I don't think there was a pause on the Hatsu, so it's probably fine. What the? Ugh. This is why I hate Chokyu. Because how do you not Ricci that? That is the most, like... I'm so frustrated with this lobby. Because people will get hands like that and then not reach them. And that is the most, like, fundamental. There is literally 0 reason not to reach this. That was 250. You Ricci that, that's Mangan. You're guaranteed to win after that, essentially. And you're not gonna Ricci it because your win rate's higher at 58. It's just so frustrating to me. Like I'm not playing the best right now, so if I don't win, it is what it is. But all I'm saying is if I had the flow, the luck of some of these other people, I would be much higher in ladder. That is such a fundamental Ricci right there that you should be taking on the Sanminch on the 3-sided with the Haku, and especially because it's the upgrade to Mangan. I don't know what my cut is here. Probably 5-pin. This guy's running Honitsu. I'm never getting rid of red 5. 4, it's probably not dealing in here, but, you know, how much I want to risk. This I like. 2-4-4 is not the strongest, yeah. This should be 2-so, I believe now. I think I still want 2-mon. Maybe not. Maybe I don't want 2-mon. What? And then I'm gonna get rid of 2-mon. T-layer, like, these two are playing Pinzu. Honitsu heads up. Or this guy's playing E2, but oh, that's bad. That 4-pin deals in there enough of the time. Probably not worth checking, but Jesus. Welcome to the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and buddy, hot dog diggity dog is all I gotta say. That's a good Pinzu shape here. It's a little awkward with the 5 if we hit like 2-pin, but we can always try to extend out like E2. I get to play around with it a little bit too, because I have East Yaku high pair, which should, in theory, allow me to kind of build up a little bit. With that 5, my shape's good enough now. I can cut this pinch on 9-8. Definitely taking that with Dora 2 in the hands. Especially with Akka, if like Akka 5-so comes out and we get to pawn it, then that's guaranteed Mangan. Albeit we have to get probably the 6-pin. I should pick that. That's a bit of a scary call because you might have to cut this 5 on like 9p and then your hand devalues, but you could also like get the 6. It's less likely than the 9 even with 1 out, but it's likely enough to where you should think about playing it. Especially now that Akka 5 is safe to dealer too. It's a little bit more comfortable. It's not like a great feeling, but again, it's good enough. You know, Akka's valuable, but the number one thing you can do is win hands to win games. So you can't be scared of it, right? She comes out across, sure. 6-0, Tarashi, that's a strong cut, so you want to start being a little bit wary of a Tenpai. It's a little bit odd with 7-pin twice out, too. I believe this one was Sumogiri. 9's... I should just play 9. I should just play 6-9. I was thinking about, like, greeting 6, because I don't think this player is playing 6-pin. Really the only way would be, like, on 4-5, but then 3 would get it. I don't really know what this player is doing, but shouldn't be using 9-pin. 9-pin is very unlikely. And I don't think this player is using it, and this player is not using it, so... Could be like a toy or something weird, and they have like 9-pin pair, but... And in fact, it probably is something odd like that. There's so many strong inner tiles. Yeah, okay, Tenpai on green 5. Yeah, there's so many strong inner tiles that they didn't take that it's a weird Tenpai made sense, but it's fine. Play West. Save the Yakuhai. Nope. Play 9-mon. Yeah, this early efficiency stuff, not too big of a deal. It probably should have been Ace. Whoops. Whoopsies. Interesting shape situation whenever you have like the 1-1-2-2, like 3-4 of a shape. If you get 3, then it's like an Ipeko, and it's pretty obvious to play. But without it, you could like later on you have like the Forso into 3 Ipeko Tenpai, or you have like drop 2-so and play 1 as the pair. Very flexible shape. 6-7's pretty cemented in the hand. I hate it here. That's a little bit more reasonable because that's just like Pinvu no Mi, quick Tenpai, and you're at first, so just get the game moving. But oh, this is a messy hand. Okay, we're gonna pull a 2-pin. So problems. Neither of these are Yakuhai. Oh, fuck. Okay, so we either play Honitsu in the Dora. Oh, this is so hard to play. Because it's either Honitsu, hopefully Shanta in the Dora, right? And we play this, or we play like Toy, but then the problem is we can't use 9-mon. We're kind of going to hedge both bets. No, we're not. We have to pick one. Honitsu should be easier. Because we also get to palm West and wait on green. And we have like second 9-mon Tenpai. The Akakut's a little bit more innocuous. Once the second 5 comes out, we're fried. Like, we're super exposed of what we have. But with that, it could be like, oh, I just have floating like 5, right? And it's whatever. So they probably think I'm Tenpai or like close to Tenpai, which is completely fine. Helps our cause, although this guy is not showing any fear, which is kind of weird. That East is good enough. There's only 1 on the board. That's worth it to keep. Gives us another pair candidate, especially if our West doesn't come out to get a Tenpai. Should drop 4, then 5. Okay, maybe a little bit more scared now. Holding Manzu here, bit tough, but whatever. Again, these Wests are going to be pretty sticky for anybody who draws them. So as long as we don't go Mochi Mochi or basically lock pairs with somebody else, we're going to be fine.
Each.
I mean, I kind of got to play heads up against this. This is such a big hand, and if he gets ahead here, then like we have other problems to worry about. Con on the 1 is surely wrong. It's completely safe to discard, and our outs are not stable enough. I'm gonna throw green. We're gonna tank. We're gonna Hollywood a little bit, hoping to fish out the east. If we get
Boom.
Rond on the green, it is what it is. This one sucks, but can I afford to play anything else? No. Yeah, he doesn't have it. Surely on Sozu something. Yes.
Dom.
And again, that east is like huge value. Get the Mongon, very big. In a pretty decent position right now. Fourth should be avoided. Whenever you're queuing up on ladder, Majul, Tenhou, not as much for G City, but especially Mahjong Seoul or Tenhou, your main priority is just to avoid fourth, which I personally hate. I think it's quite bad. It's one of the only. I mean, it's a type of mahjong you have to play, right? It definitely has its own strategy, and you tend to opt towards much more passive plays and a play style that's much more reliant on not really taking risks, and just avoiding it altogether. And usually, unless death by 1,000 cuts, you will avoid fourth, but there's so much nuance gets lost in it, I feel. Decision time, we're gonna cut 4-6. Hopefully there's no tempai here. The Aka 5 is a little scary, but yeah, we want to cut 4-6 here. It's a very good draw, very good draw. We're going to have to play this 3-penny Peiko. It's fine. He was tempai. Okay. Oh, that's game. And I got third. Positive. What the? Hate ladder. Hate ladder. Okay. I might be doing 2 of these back to back. Let's review though. It's good to try to review. Let's turn off walls and hands. 5. Pretty standard efficiency stuff. Pawn east comes out. And then that 5 so Tadashi after like the 9-8-1. That should symbolize like he's tempai. And I should definitely play a 1 pin here. Yeah, I try to Sakigiri the 5, but it's tempai and it's just not worth it. I can play the 1 back up. At least, especially if the 5 deals in, it's another Dora, so it's 300 of them. So that was a guaranteed mistake. And that actually gets me second there. So that ended up being really important. It's all pretty standard. Yeah, I like that over the 5. Like, I technically have, like, 6-9 that I missed by not dropping the Hatsu, but, like, the 5 doesn't really get me there anyway. Yeah, that's about the only backfire draw. And I beat Tempai on 4-7 so here. Which is, I guess, important. But, yeah, I wouldn't even draw it. In fact, actually, when did dealer get Tempai? Okay, dealer gets Tempai there, so I would have barely not dealt in. I guess I would have played 3 anyway, so I wouldn't have dealt in, but scary nonetheless. And I think I still get eaten for that. Like, he has to push 8-pin Genbutsu against me, so. I saved the stick in that play. Standard. 9-pin. It's a little weird. I can never take that 8. It just leaves me with up a creek with no ore, as they say. 5-pin if I think it's not Tempai, which I don't buy Tempai yet. This is safer later, but like that's a big deal in. Tumon, I have Lucky Pico draws. Tuso is a weaker shape. Yeah, you're supposed to. I think you're supposed to cut 5-pin here because it's a strong shape. You're very likely to get 3-6, especially with a 5 out. So the pair of 5s doesn't really help unless you're exactly playing that as the pair, which with Tumon and this 2-4-4, I'm fairly confident that I'm not really ending up with 5-pin as the pair. So I'll cut that now. Inner tile near the door. Now I'm a bit sussed. 3 so like potentially I could do some weird Tenhou shenanigans, but not worth it. Pretty much committed.
1
Cut the 2. I should have kept the 2 here. And played 2-mon. 2-mon's a more dangerous tile. It doesn't feed the dealer, so there is a little bit of an argument. I'm assuming dealer's playing Manzu Onitsu from the looks of it. I missed that these were Sumogiri. They were just drawn and discarded, so probably not, especially with this 2-mon here. But, I mean, hypothetically, if dealer's playing Manzu Honitsu, which is a big hand, a very important hand, this would slow it down. So there is, like, a little bit of an argument to wait to play it, but probably should have Sakigiri because this is a little dangerous. And now I get the super safe East, and we end up here anyway, for sure. 8 so, not the best way. Avoiding that would be a little bit better. That 4, I probably shouldn't have played. Tadashi 2-pin after the 3. It's like 4-7. There's only 1 5 left, so it's not the most likely, but not worth checking. Especially when this guy could be playing Honey 2, getting Tenfly on it as well. Go there. Yeah, West for double Yakuhai, kind of like there. I don't use that 1 so very much unless it's like Chanta, but then I can't play this Akadora, so now 2 West out, we'll play that. Now the efficiency we get there. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shapes. I want to play the Aka, so I don't want to cut from this Ryoncon. The 5-5-7, especially when I like East Yakuhai, is a pretty strong pair I like. So I think getting rid of this 9-8 is the preferred play. And calling open, I think, is fine here. Yeah, I don't have a pair, so this 5 is getting locked in, and then I can do interesting shenanigans if Aka 5 so comes out. Which does not feel the best, but yeah, I could opt for 6-pin. There's 3 7s, 2 5s I see, but 1 6 already, like, it's not worth it. 9-pin looks very, very good on this board. Dealer is not playing 9-pin with 1 out this early. This guy's probably not playing 9-pin with the early 8. And with 2 Dora out here, especially a cut from Dora on an open hand, so it's not even like you're dropping a Dora to play Pinfu, there's very, very little chance there's any 9-pin here, unless it's like 9-pin pair. I was thinking that when I was playing, but
1
yeah, and the Hatsu deal's in there. Tough. Probably want to be thinking of Honitsu a little more in this hand, but I don't know if West is the answer to get us there. 6-7's a pretty strong shape. Should have been East. Eight does connect to Dora, but whatever. That's so crazy. Yeah, I like 2-pin here. I like keeping the 9 because of all the other nonsense. South is not Yakuai. Hatsu is. I do have Toy Toy if I draw like pair of Dora. I think because of Dora 9-mon, I think more of the time this is Honitsu than Toy Toy. So I think I like killing this 9. Especially because like if I'm going Chanta, then I'm not playing the Aka anyway. So like Toy Toy is a minor bull. The South's a decent enough edge. Again, if I pair up this 9-mon, like 1-mon should come, West should come. So 9-mon 5 so not the best, but it is an option. And then I have to play that. From this position, I either have to cut 7-8, hit West, hit 5, pair the 9, or like wait on it. That's not very realistic. If I play Manzu Honitsu, I can call the West, Tanki on the green, worst comes to worst, and if I draw 6-mon, 9-mon, even a random middle Manzu, and then draw around it, I can play the West to pair. Much more flexible, and Toy Toy's 2-han, Honitsu's 2-han. So it is effectively the same value. Also, I can get like Chanta, Honitsu, Door 3, Insanity for Mangan, right? Chanta Honitsu, yeah, Door 3 is Mangan, or is Hanemon, excuse me, and like Honitsu, Dora is minimum 3 Han, and if I can get Chanta out of it, which looks realistic, then I hit manga. So just getting it out. If we're cutting the 5s too, we don't think anybody's Tenpai, so we just want to get rid of the scarier 5. White's 2 out. Again, it kind of fakes our hand a little bit. Someone still might be thinking, hey, they might have a quick hands. They might just be Tenpai on like whatever. They have like Anko Green or they're like Shabo. They might not have value. And then when we dump that like 5 Tadashi, then it's like, okay, if someone's paying attention, they know that we're going Honitsu here, which is fine. The East being once out, especially if we can wait on the East and then get it, I believe that's Hanemon, right? Because it's Honitsu, Dora, Double Tone, Shanta. Yes, so that's Hanemon as well. So the East is a very good keep here. That comes, we'll drop the 1. All very standard. 4 pins Gambutsu. 1-1, we do have the option to con here. Problem is, we're not Tenpai A. B, our hands, it's a little rough. This guy could be waiting on anything. And 1-1's guaranteed safe. Because this guy would have to be playing Kokushi, which is still technically a possibility. There's not 4, no, there is 4 1 pins, so he's not playing Kokushi. And 4-mon Suji's the 1, and we have the other 3. So it's guaranteed safe. So because of all that, we're not going to con. We want to prioritize value. We're just going to play 1-mon. We draw the West. Now we have a bit of a decision. We can play the safer East and try and wait on this Hatsu, which is not out at all. That being said, this late into the game, probably a reason Hatsu's not out. Could very well be this person is Tenpai on it. Could also be it's just their pair and they weren't around it. Another somewhat reasonable thing. So could deal in, but they could also just have it without dealing in. And there's 1 East out, so it looks a little bit worse than us. We didn't call it. And if we take a couple seconds to think on this discard and then throw the green to these 2 players, they could think I have Anko Hatsu. And I got really scared off something, and I just want to play back. Probably not, but they might think that, right? And so if they do, if they are sort of misinformed in that thinking, then the East comes out much, much easier. So I think the East is a much higher win rate on this table than the Hatsu. So I decided to brave the Hatsu. This player has them. I could have a pair of Hatsu very easily here. Excuse me. Especially with the 1-mon not cons. That makes sense. I have a little bit of weakness. I'm not as confident in the hand. Could be like Hatsu pair cut. Now the Hatsus come out, 2-mon comes, it braves. 5 pin, very scary. It's safe to these 2, not to the Ricci. Could have 2, 4, 6. Let's be honest. Not really realistic. No, all the 4s are dead. So we'd have to have like 5 pin. 5 pin never deals in here. You'd have to have exactly 6, 7 pin. There's 2 6s, 2 7s. With these cuts, it's weird. And then to Ricci it with 2 5s and 2 8s out. Very unrealistic for that 5 to deal in. So the East comes, we're in a good position. We want something nice, fast, quick. That is the name of the game. So we're going to prioritize a bit of efficiency. Probably should have been the South instead. Only really weird thing we can be thinking here is Chanta. Now that happens, it's like, okay, we got to speed up. Fast, double tone, very nice, very quick hand. Probably should have dropped double tone here. There's 1 out. Yeah, I should have dropped double tone. That is 6 shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But again, we want to be playing max efficiency, so tone should definitely come out there. I was playing a bit preemptively to try and get 4 6 out of the hand, but then he has double Aka. Yeah, welcome to Akari. Terrible game mode. 2 reds, 3 reds in the hand, drop 1, try to look like you're devaluing, and you step nuts and he explodes. And this guy wins. I don't remember what this guy, I said this guy did something earlier, and I think it actually cost the game. which I still agree with, but you know, very unfortunate that I had done there. It is my fault though. I shouldn't have dealt in East one. And without that deal in, I think I actually get first from this position. Um, so again, happens. That's why we practice. That's why we review. Cleaning up the little stuff like that is much, much more important than having a game where I just like stomp everybody and climb ladder. That being said, my career path to Ho not going well when doing bad, terrible play like that. But again, continued practice review is the most consistent thing to try to break that. That'll do it. Not too bad. We'll go again another day probably.